Breaking news from Vladivostok, a massive fire has erupted aboard the Juche Spirit, North Korea's most advanced warship. Flames light up the night sky, thick smoke billows, and chaos reigns at Russia's major naval port. The Juche Spirit, valued at over $1 billion, was the pride of North Korea's fleet, now crippled. Initial reports are conflicting. Was it an accident or an attack? Some suggest a coordinated strike inside one of Russia's most secure naval bases. What was meant to be a show of strength has become a symbol of vulnerability. The world is watching, and the implications are enormous. How could such a heavily defended ship be targeted so precisely? This story is about more than just a fire. It's about the future of warfare. In a single night, the illusion of security was shattered. This is not just a regional incident, it's a global wake-up call. Stay with us as we uncover the story behind the fire in the Pacific. Vladivostok is the headquarters of Russia's Pacific Fleet, a fortress bristling with advanced defenses. The harbor is shielded by the S-400 missile system, creating a virtual dome against air attacks. Beneath the waves, sonar arrays and underwater mines guard every approach. Patrol boats and radar stations keep constant watch. The Juche Spirit, equipped with its own electronic warfare systems, was considered untouchable. Its crew drilled for every scenario: fire, missile strike, boarding. The combination of ship and port defenses was supposed to make a successful attack impossible. This was defense in depth at its finest. Yet, tonight's events proved that even the best technology can be outsmarted. The defenders were ready for traditional threats: missiles, planes, submarines. But they weren't prepared for an enemy that rewrote the rules. Their confidence in their fortress became their greatest weakness. The illusion of absolute security created a blind spot. The attackers exploited it with devastating effect. The lesson: no defense is perfect, especially against innovation. The Juche Spirit's fate is a warning to militaries everywhere. In modern warfare, adaptability trumps hardware. The shield was breached, not by force, but by creativity. To understand this attack, look to Ukraine, a nation forced to innovate against overwhelming odds. Lacking a billion-dollar navy, they built something smarter: AI-driven sea drones. These unmanned surface vehicles, or USVs, are cheap, fast, and deadly. Controlled remotely, their real power comes from onboard AI. The AI navigates, identifies targets, and coordinates attacks in swarms. Ukraine's Ghost Fleet is hard to detect, relentless, and constantly evolving. This isn't science fiction. It's the new face of naval warfare. Ukrainian sea drones have scored stunning victories, using decoys and coordinated strikes. The loss of a single drone is insignificant. The loss of a flagship is catastrophic. This asymmetric approach flips the script on traditional military thinking. Instead of pouring resources into one asset, power is distributed across a network of cheap, intelligent machines. The result: a nimble, unpredictable force that's hard to counter. The Juche Spirit's destruction is a case study in this new reality. The strongest no longer always win, the smartest do. Ukraine's tactics are guerrilla warfare for the digital age. The lesson: innovation and adaptability are the new superpowers. The future of conflict belongs to those who can outthink, not outspend their enemies. The age of AI warfare has arrived. The attack on the Juche Spirit began long before the first explosion. Ukrainian cyber units launched a silent assault on the port's sensors and communications. Instead of shutting systems down, they injected subtle errors, turning birds into jets, fishing boats into warships. The defenders were bombarded with false alarms, forced to question every blip on their screens. This digital harassment frayed nerves and eroded trust in their own technology. The attackers conditioned the defenders to ignore alerts, setting the stage for disaster. The battlefield was prepared not with bombs, but with bytes. The first shots of this war were fired from keyboards, not cannons. By the time the real attack began, the defenders were confused and complacent. Ukraine's cyber warriors created a fog of war, blinding the fortress before a single drone was launched. The port's eyes and ears were useless. The defenders were left guessing, unsure what was real and what was a ghost in the machine. This is the new frontline information warfare. The digital realm is as critical as the physical. The Juche Spirit never saw the real threat coming. With digital defenses compromised, the physical attack began, with decoys. Cheap inflatable rafts, fitted with radar reflectors, mimicked real vessels. Russian operators, already rattled, saw these ghost ships on their screens and panicked. The S-400 system fired multi-million-dollar missiles at $1,000 decoys. Ukraine watched, mapping the enemy's response and depleting their missile stockpile. It was economic warfare. A few $1,000s in decoys forced millions in defensive spending. While the sky lit up with explosions, the real threat crept closer. AI-powered sea drones used the chaos as cover, slipping through the outer defenses. The defenders were distracted, their resources wasted. The main attack force was now inside the shield. The cost exchange was staggering, and entirely in Ukraine's favor. The stage was set for the kill. As the last decoy was destroyed, the real attack began. A specialized drone, armed with an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, led the charge. It detonated near the Jucha Spirit, frying its electronics, radar, communications, fire control, all went dark. The billion-dollar warship was suddenly blind and helpless. Immediately, a swarm of AI-powered sea drones surged forward. They moved in perfect coordination, overwhelming the few remaining defenses. The defenders, blinded and confused, couldn't respond in time. The drones were too small, too fast, too many. Explosions rocked the Jucha Spirit as the swarm struck with precision. The command centers were in chaos, screens blank, alarms blaring, no way to fight back. The attack was brutal, efficient, and terrifying. The cost of the swarm, less than a single Russian cruise missile. The result, a billion-dollar warship systematically dismantled. 21st century warfare had arrived with devastating clarity. The fortress had fallen to a ghost fleet. The sea drones didn't aim to sink the Jucha Spirit, they aimed to destroy it as a fighting asset. The first drones crippled the ship's rudder and propellers, leaving it dead in the water. Others targeted missile launch cells, igniting secondary explosions and fires. The helicopter hangar was destroyed, along with its aircraft and fuel. The result, a floating wreck, listing heavily, its weapons and sensors ruined. Repairing the damage would cost more than building a new ship. The Jucha Spirit became a billion-dollar monument to failure. For North Korea, this was worse than sinking. The ship's ruined hull was a daily reminder of defeat. The psychological impact was profound. The defenders had failed to protect their most prized asset in their most secure port. The ship's survival, in this crippled state, was a public humiliation. Every sailor in Vladivostok saw it, a symbol of impotence, not power. The message was clear: expensive weapons are worthless against a smarter enemy. The Jucha Spirit was no longer a flagship, it was a warning. The cost of underestimating innovation is now plain for all to see. The age of the invincible warship is over. The future belongs to those who can adapt. The destruction of the Jucha Spirit is a lesson for military leaders everywhere. The age of massive, expensive weapon systems is ending. The battle was asymmetric, a billion-dollar warship versus a swarm of cheap, intelligent drones. The smarter, more agile force won, easily. This wasn't just about technology, but philosophy. Russia and North Korea relied on size and firepower. Ukraine relied on agility, intelligence, and network tactics. The strength of the swarm was in its coordination, not its cost. Innovation, not investment, is the new king of the battlefield. Trillions spent on weapons could be used for schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. The arms race diverts resources from what truly matters. The Jucha Spirit's fate shows that spending alone doesn't guarantee security. Unmanned systems keep soldiers out of harm's way, a moral and strategic advantage. The nature of courage and sacrifice is changing. In this new era, the boldest move is to outthink, not outgun, your enemy. The future of warfare is brains over brawn. The burning wreck of the Jucha Spirit is a warning. Technology accelerates war, making it more accessible and more devastating. This was a clean victory, but there's no such thing as a clean war. The true cost is measured in lives lost, families shattered, societies broken. The resources spent on weapons could solve real-world problems. The same technology could heal, feed, and explore. The lesson isn't just that cheap drones can beat expensive warships. The real lesson, the pursuit of military superiority, is a dangerous game. True strength is the wisdom to prevent war, not just win it. As we build new tools, we must use them wisely. The goal should be peace, not more effective killing machines. Let the Jucha Spirit's fate remind us. Innovation's greatest purpose is to build, not destroy. The ultimate victory is avoiding war altogether.